Hello, my name is Kaylin Martin, and today I will be presenting my epidemiology paper over HIV and AIDS. So for the executive summary, this year, 2021, marks the 40th anniversary for the outbreak of what was originally known as the AIDS epidemic in Los Angeles. At that time, healthy gay men were seemingly falling ill at random, which was causing fear and uncertainty among both the people in the gay community and also the entire population of Los Angeles. And originally, as previously mentioned, it was believed to simply just be AIDS, which was acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Today, after more research and understanding has been conducted, we now know that what we thought was originally AIDS was actually HIV, or human immunodeficiency virus, and then it leads into HIV once left untreated. So the statement of the major problem is the fact that infection rates for HIV continue to grow within the United States. As of 2018, 36,400 newly infected people contracted HIV within that 1 year. There is an extreme difference in racial and ethnic minorities and gay or bisexual men, resulting in them being at greater risk. It is important to understand that HIV is spread through bodily fluids such as blood, semen, breast milk, vaginal or rectal fluids. So this means that anyone who's sexually active, breastfeeding, participating in any sort of drug paraphernalia is at risk of being exposed to HIV. And as of right now, there is currently no cure. Some background information regarding how this virus came to be is that we believe it originated in Africa in chimpanzees from the SIV, known as simian immunodeficiency virus, and that possible jump from chimpanzees to humans occurred in the 1800s when those living in Africa were hunting chimpanzees for food and they were exposed to the blood, resulting in a mutation occurring to where HIV was present in Africa now. So in the US, there are 1.2 million people living with HIV every day, and the concerning aspect is 1 in 7 of them are not aware that they have HIV. Some more background is that HIV is transferred from, now that the transfer from chimpanzees to humans, it's important to look at how human-human transmission occurs. And as previously mentioned, it occurs through sexual contact, through the semen, blood, vaginal fluids, and anal fluids. And then also if an individual has drug addictions through injection drug use or by smoking a pipe with a person who's possibly positive, a negative person runs the risk of being contaminated. So while HIV does not exist in saliva, the mucosal membranes that exist in the mouth can pick up the virus and result in a negative person becoming positive. The reason why some people may go so long without realizing that they have HIV is because how long it takes for symptoms to occur, which can occur 2 to 4 weeks after exposure, or in some cases people don't show symptoms at all. And these symptoms can be very vague, such as chills, fever, and fatigue, which a lot of people can believe to just be a simple flu or a cold they picked up, and usually the symptoms do go away in a few days to a few weeks after first presentation of them. Some continuing background is there are certain individuals that are at increased risk. As previously mentioned, gay and bisexual men are one of the top concerns for transmission, simply because of the way HIV operates within the body, and especially those of African American descent are more likely just because of their lack of trusting healthcare facilities and lack of being able to have access to proper healthcare. And then those aged 25 to 34 have a higher chance of being exposed simply because they're younger and more likely to have more sexual partners. So a description of the effort across time would be starting in the 1980s in the US. The CDC began being involved as soon as the outbreak happened in Los Angeles. So as soon as, multiple gay men started falling ill and dying, they got involved in trying to understand what this virus was and how it was affecting them and why, which resulted in us having the information we do today. And then in 1996, the United Nations created UNAIDS, which at the time that it was created, it was still believed that HIV and AIDS were the same thing. But the name just has kind of stuck over the years. So this organization was used to unite 11 organizations such as UNICEF, just for an example, with the goal of eradicating HIV and AIDS entirely. So as of today, both organizations are still involved in providing and promoting prevention strategies as a way to reduce the spread of the HIV virus and also to provide access to treatment and care for those who may previously not have had access. So by using condoms, limiting sexual partners, and regular testing for people who are of at-risk populations such as gay and bisexual men, those who inject drugs, and so on. So the main analysis would be that increased technology, even with the access of increased technology and understanding and resources and studying, we still don't have a cure for HIV, which is a problem given the fact so many Americans and so many people globally are still facing this virus. Fortunately, though, thanks to this technology and other medical resources, there are medications that can help either eliminate HIV transmission as long as taken properly, or reduce the chance of a negative person becoming positive. So ART, or antiretroviral therapy, can be taken by a positive person, and as long as they take the prescribed medications consistently as prescribed, after 6 months they can have an undetectable viral load, which in turn means that they are not able to expose their negative partners to the virus. It means that while the virus is still technically in their body, it's not active enough to cause any sort of further infection. And then there's PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylaxis, which can be taken by a negative individual, and taking this daily reduces the risk of a negative person contracting HIV when they have sexual intercourse or anything like that with a positive individual. It's still important to always get tested. They recommend roughly every 3 to 6 months getting tested, especially for those who have risk-associated behaviors. And then, of course, disparities still exist among minority populations, such as African American individuals and gay and bisexual men. So overall, it's really important to make sure that the public is educated on prevention strategies, make sure the public is able to have access to testing when wanted. So there's a lot of organizations that, especially locally, like ARG, AIDS Resource Group, here in Evansville exists, that is able to provide free testing for individuals, and then if they are positive, they're able to provide counseling and other types of services. So those sorts of services are actually globally existing and statewide also. And having that ability to be able to go get tested is definitely necessary in being able to combat the HIV epidemic. And those are my references, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Have a good day.